One attack that we can run against wireless networks is a deauthentication attack. Now, a deauthentication attack forces the clients to actually become no longer associated with the wireless network, and that generally forces them to re-authenticate to the access point. Why would we do that? Well, one reason that we would do that is in order to catch a hidden SSID, because as part of the association process, the SSID will be available to us. And another reason to do it is because if we can force deauthentication, we may be able to generate more messages on the network, which may potentially lead us to a place where we can crack the wireless passwords. So I need a MAC address or a BSSID, and one way of doing that is, of course, to get Kismet running. And I'm just going to get Kismet started up here. And it's going to ask me for a network interface in just a second that I actually want to bind to. So I want to add a source, and I'm going to add WLAN 0. It's my wireless interface. And you'll see that we've got a whole bunch of BSSIDs. You can close the console window, and you'll see all of the BSSIDs that are traveling by. Once I find the SSID I'm looking for, I can grab the BSSID, and then I can move forward. The next thing I need to do is I need to set up monitor mode on my particular network interface, because I need monitor mode in order to be able to do the injections, because what I'm doing is I'm actually creating messages that I am injecting into the network at the radio level. So I'm going to run airmon ng, and I'm going to say start. I'm going to say WLAN 0, and I need it on channel 6 because that's the channel my access point is running on. So now I am ready for my attack. So now I can run air replay. I'm going to do a deauthentication message. I'm going to run it 15 times, and then you can see the BSSID here from my particular access point. That's the MAC address for my access point. So I've got my access point there, and then the last thing here is I'm using the monitor interface for WLAN 0 that I created as part of the airmon ng. So I've got WLAN 0 mon, and I'm using that interface because that's the one I'm going to be able to run injections on. So now you can see I'm sending deauthentication messages out to everybody for that BSSID. If I wanted to, I could specify a client address by saying -C, and then I could force a particular client to deauthenticate. What I'm doing is I'm forcing everybody on the network to deauthenticate, and that's going to force them to re-authenticate and, as I said, potentially expose SSIDs if they're hidden, or it could potentially give us some clues so that we could actually break some of the encryption that's being used.